All right, Shalom. Back out here again, preaching the downfall of Babylon the Great, aka America. First and foremost, we just started. We're going to give all praise, glory, and honor to. That is the true names of the Heavenly Father, is the only begotten Son, through the Holy Spirit. We want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth, who rule well. Enough respect and salutations to the fellow Akim in the house of David. Enough respect to you brothers out there. So yeah, we back out here again prophesying the downfall of America. And through this week, what has transpired is a lot of decrees and mandates, man, right, from y'all people. I'm sure you got voters' remorse now for voting this guy into office, man. All right, even though he was selected, get that Isaiah 10.
Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe to them that decree a righteous decree, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed.
He do this under the shroud because he has been given the world, all right, through wickedness. He has been deceiving, and he has been ruling with the sword. But he write also into laws, which means he's adverse to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Okay? When he puts forth his laws, of course, again, all federal workers, all right? I don't know where y'all been in the last week, but y'all heard the news, man. It's mandated, man, for you to get what? Jabbed up.
Yep.
And of course, these Egyptians, right? They're the only ones that's mad. You Babylonians out there, man. All right, Jake is going along with the process. You see? But you, the scripture tells you he gonna set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, right? So this is not our battle. Our battle is to preach the word and prophesy.
Daniel chapter 8, verse 24. It said, his power shall be mighty,
Yep.
but not by his own power.
See, Yahushua gave this man the power, man, through what? Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. So it's not his power that he's ruling upon, go.
And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper in practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people.
Yeah, he has reached the pinnacle of destroying not only the holy people, but the inhabitants of the earth and the earth itself.
Yeah, this nigga, he really perfected destruction. Just you going to your job, you contributing to the pollution of the air, man.
That's it.
But that's through his technology. You know, and that's just scratching the iceberg.
Yep.
Right. It says, and through his policy, also he shall cause crash. It's like, and through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Policies, legislation, laws, they are written on the book to keep you Jakes down, man. You Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And for the whole part of that, all you inhabitants of the earth, man. You had no idea that this man is wanted, dead or alive, man. And we have found out the corporate, man. Continue.
It says, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
And he magnified himself in his heart, man. In his mind, he has thought to, hey, he want to kill you Jakes, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And how does he does this, man? By the way of his laws, by the way of his legislations, and by the way, that's going into Alexander and Antiochus, man, right? But it's also applied to the day. You got Biden out here, he's speaking with soft lips and soft words. He's whispering, get vaccinated, get vaccinated. You got that? Yeah. Hey, the world's softer than oil, man. Go ahead.
This is Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Hey, this is what is the war on terror, the war on drugs, the war on this crime. It's always war in this man's heart, man. Hey, as brother brought out, this man been at war, what, 93% of his tenure, man. Y'all Americans been at war for the last 20 years. Hey, listen to me now. Last 20 years and of that, 90% since this country been established, man. This man is all about bloodshed.
I got something real quick. I need to say something too. The only thing they had of peace was the Fabulous 50s. Which that was by through war. They had to drop bombs on them groups.
Yeah.
To kickstart the Fabulous 50s, man.
That's it.
But
that's it. Oh, through his laws?
Yep.
Back you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, he was at war. Hey, they went to war that same night. Shit, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, this song.
So in war had the midst of it. You just heard the effects of war.
Yeah, that's it.
He's striking the pin. Ball flag.
Yeah, this is the book of Psalm 140, verse 1. Deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in their heart.
That's it. That's the so-called white man, the Caucasian. Y'all ain't nothing but warmongers, man. All right? Y'all ain't nothing but covetous, right? You want land, you want oil, you want drugs, you want gold. That's y'all God, man. You see? And see, now you got the real prophets out here on the highways and hedges prophesying y'all downfall.
It says continually
Continually.
are they gathered together for war.
You see that? Hey, and right now he's bringing up these lower lesser Edomites to come up against these laws and legislations that they're writing into law, man. Hey, even you got Esau, all right, we perceive to be, he's blowing the trumpet. All right, he's sounding the alarm, man. He sees something ain't right with the Constitution that y'all wrote into play, that y'all even go against, man. Hey, this is suspect. This is suspect nation. You see? Because y'all got it by bloodshed, man. Go back there.
Psalm 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words.
Oh, that's that by peace. He gonna understand that. See, now this nigga come in the name of help. He want to help you so much he'll kill you.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Man.
He ain't gonna. The thing gonna. The C word ain't gonna get you.
Yeah.
The B word gonna. Yeah.
I'm a star. You're not going to be able to go and comment, please. I love you that much.
His words were softer than oil.
Or can I say to you, like war was in his heart that goes into these secret meetings. Constantly out there gathered together. These devils ain't sleeping, man. They in the board meeting. They have the blueprints out, so to speak. They pretty much strategizing. They concocting ways to come up against Israel, man. Like the Bilderberg meeting, these different meetings. They ain't coming together for world peace. No, at the top of the agenda is how to get rid of these so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, man. Hey, it's a video came out, the brother piece of Tampa. I put the video clip. Well, Mike came out and said, that whole briefing where he briefed the nation, he chopped it up. There's a lot of bullet points in there, man. There was one segment where he came out. He said, look, the black community. It's already, the stage has been set. The narrative is you are the ones, people on this side are the ones that's holding up everything going back to normal. Man. So that goes back to that war in his heart, in his meetings, in the inner workings of Esau, as they reason amongst themselves, his war strategies against you.
That's it.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawing swords.
Yeah, and that's what it is, man. They're drawing sword. And this don't have to be a literal sword or the modern day gun. It could be by way of a syringe with some damn graphite, whatever the hell that is in that thing, man. All right? To get you on the grafted up on this new world, man. And this is their whole plan, man, to keep you as a perpetual slave for life. And you only see Jake falling for the okie doke, man.
And we seeing the process of him drawing the sword. Yeah. Nigga ain't gonna pull the trigger when it's still in the holster. He gotta up it up first. So that's what you seeing through these laws and these legislations being passed.
Yeah.
Now it's out. Now the military can come in. I forgot who sent the video. On the video, they had military. And they still doing it. And they put it, they in strategic areas, man.
That's it.
They're gonna get to the point. They're gonna pull the trigger, man. Power go out, the money pass, wherever it may be.
Yeah.
You gonna know the so-called white man is your enemy. You gonna know this nigga is devil. You gonna know he's smart.
That's it.
And he wasn't selling wolf tickets. He was telling you he was gonna kill you. He wasn't like he was just saying that because he loved you. That nigga wanna kill you, man.
That's it.
We gonna see that though.
It's Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their bed.
Oh yeah, hey, that devise you shaping and molding trouble.
Yeah.
You know? And it said, divide nigga upon his bed. This nigga face on the money, man.
That's it.
Well, you coming out to somebody that ain't got a standing or we ain't got no fear that you in.
You in your comfort.
Yeah.
Hey, nobody coming up against you. You ain't. Oh, the scripture say that.
Yeah.
How he stretched out forth his hand against those who was at peace with him. Nobody's a threat to this devil. He's in his bed, you know, with no resistance at all. Yet he's concocting. His mischief is geared towards Israel, man. Yeah, come on, you got it. It's like
Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their bed.
Yeah, they had rest, as the ox said, man. They chilling, but they target is on you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. Go ahead.
When the morning is light, they practice it.
And this is what they do. This is a practice to them, man. This ain't nothing just been they just came up about. They've been doing this for years, man. Hey, you go back to Genesis 27, and you can find out what the intent of Esau's heart was, man. It's to kill you Jacobs, man. You Jakes out there, man. You so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans.
And they say what, rising in the light?
In the morning.
So they diligently, over the years, they went like they took a break off their agenda.
Yeah.
All the way down from a new cartoon coming out. They contribute to their agenda, man. So they were diligently doing this. And now we're at the peak area now, man.
Yeah, like for example, like hey, somebody hit that. Matter of fact, go to that. Can you go to that? Go to yeah,
Oh, you do. Yeah.
Hey, for example, like back in the day, like Tupac. The nigga always was seen with a cigarette for the most part. If you really go back and look at the nigga had a cigarette in his hand. That was Esau trying to get you, man. Which, by the way, when you go into that word devise right there in Micah, the 2nd chapter, one of the words is calculate. So when you do something calculated, man, that means you into it. You all in. And that's the ways of a hunter. A hunter will come up with an elaborate way to draw in the prey. Whether it's in the form of a mating call, they have a trap with food on it to lure you in based upon your lust. And what happens, bam, he kill you, man.
That's it.
Finish it off. I'll read it again. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
Yeah, and that's what go back to that Daniel. It tells us not by his own power, but by our power. So who should you be scared of, man? You should be scared of our power that gave him his power. And that's Yahweh Shah, man. You see, the only begotten.
Going into that power real quick. It's Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him.
You see, this is what was given to him, man. All right? This blessing by the way of deceivableness and this sword, man. All right? And he's trying to get back this birthright, man. He's trying to crawl back to us. He'll do anything to get this birthright, man. He's a big man.
He said, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
Giving unto him a great sword. And they should kill one. Hey, don't let that, you can't gloss over that.
Oh no, just going back. It was the Lord that gave him the resources to cause this turmoil on the planet Earth. Because I tell you, it was going to be a time of war.
That's it.
That was going to happen under a certain ruler.
Yeah.
And it was going to be through Esau. That was the blessing, by the way, you need the sword. And it said great sword because he got it at the highest degree, man. So they got the air as a weapon, the water.
Man.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, your woman a weapon.
Yep. That comes in the form of sword.
Esau, real talk. Esau weaponized everything. Your children, everything is a weapon, man. It was set up to kill you, yeah. But that was all. No weapon for the water. And because, hey, those darks come in the form of them things, man. Even that mask.
Yeah, hey, on that mask too, you got high schoolers like passing out, jogging in their mask. They run track and everything.
Hey, good for them, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Good for you, man.
Yeah. But who implement that, man? Esau through the teachers and the principals. They implemented and say you need to have a mask on. You see what I'm saying? A diaper on your face, man.
You know, Tom.
Yeah.
You Brian, you passed. I can't feel sorry for a nigga. Why? He had that mask on.
And once they put him on the stretcher, he had some Newports in his pocket. We not gonna.
Yeah.
As you get on the stretcher, you can see the imprint, a soft pack in his pocket. Man, we're not gonna pity you. Or like the video clip with the snippet of the deer prancing and dancing around the leopard. Man, what happened? He ended up getting slaughtered. You couldn't feel no compassion. So you stupid motherfuckers. Hey, it got to a point where you said, kill him already. You said, you was like, yo, go ahead, somebody just go ahead and kill him.
Michael 2 and 2, and they cover the field
Yep.
and take them by violence.
This is what they do, man. Hey, you can look back at the natives. What happened to the natives, man? The northern tribes of this nation. With Christopher Colon and his mercenaries. All right? With the conquistadors. Man, they came over here slaughtering everything in sight, man.
In houses.
And can I say, they really didn't touch down, slaughter. They set up laws. They made treaties first. That's how you know if everything is repeating itself. Before Esau come down on you, it's going to be a heavy form that the brother opened up with. It's going to be a heavy form of treaties and decrees. The word mandate going to be thrown around. Oh, you heard with Biden, he was like he was drunk, like he had left a club. Like he was, you heard him, he was talking like he just woke up. He said, look, man, we getting tired, man. Our patience is running out, man.
Oh, he did say that.
He said patience is running out.
Patience running out, man.
Well, that's how he did it when they came over here with the mercenaries, like the brother said. All right, they said, look, they come in your shit with a document telling you got 30 days. You know what I mean? So, you know, in a lot of cases, they didn't know what they were saying. They didn't even understand. The language you can't understand. They didn't understand what they were saying. It's devil, man.
Yeah, but you can find these accounts in the scriptures. Everybody want to go to any other avenue, but you can go straight to the biblical text and find these prophecies, man, that are written. And we're here to tell you about them again, man. All right?
I'm going to read again. Michael 2 and 2. And they cover the fields and take them by violence and houses and take them away.
And take them away, man. Hey, that word houses, too. Hey, it going to a lot, man. Your cattle, all right? Your homes, your heritage. Go ahead.
So they oppress a man.
Can I say too, like the covet that goes into lusting after or desiring something that's not yours. That's a goddamn sicko. He see your car and he lusts after it so much so to when he kills you for it. So they coveted land, and you know that was also manifested in the Indian Removal Act. Andrew Jackson, man. Where they said they felt like they deserved the land because they just liked it. You know, all of a sudden, you see a couple of Edomites buy your land, and all of a sudden there's 40 Edomites squatting on your property.
That's it. They saw songs about it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Then you get a decree from Washington where Andrew Jackson said, y'all got to get out of here. This land belongs to you.
Oh, just to add on you, Andrew Jackson disobeyed and he disannulled. He illegally pushed that forth into action over what the Supreme Court had justified. They justified the Cherokees and the 5 other so-called civilized Indian nations, right? They justified them, but Andrew Jackson, he trumped that and said, no, this is our land.
Oh, that's why you remember when Trump, that's spirit, you just said Trump, but that's spirit. Remember when Trump was in office and you had the people from the Dakota pipeline, where the guy came up in there, Trump had Andrew Jackson picture up that day, man. Nobody didn't peep that. Like that's the one day they had Andrew. They had the office. They went into the formal office where Andrew Jackson picture was up as he gave him the award, man. Yeah, it might be George Washington. You know.
Because George Washington decreed that these are sovereign people, right? But when Andrew Jackson came along, he was like the Congress did. But when he got president, he did it illegally, man.
Yeah, he was. He on Mount Rushmore? No, he ain't on Mount Rushmore. Don't let me go into that. I go under Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore come up, stop y'all in the season.
I got something real quick.
Yeah.
This is Job 24:2. Some remove the landmarks. They violently take away flocks and feed them.
Yeah, that's right, man. Hey, man, through the Spirit, you know that God was living it up over here, man. All right. And, hey, they was like doing it under you know, they little laws and legislation. They had a broken form of spoken Hebrew. But when Esau came in, man, they took away the house, the home, oppressed the man and his parents, took away the flock to feed, hired the corn. It got so bad where these natives, these Edomites came over. They tried to start the farm behind them, and they didn't know how to keep, you know, to farm right. You see, hey, don't take my word for it, Google it. You see, they didn't know how to keep, they went into famine. They went into a moment of famine, man. People ask about these guys from Roanoke, these people, these sellers, right? Man, you don't know what's taking place on this earth, man. Lord got this thing settled for us to come out and prophesy the downfall of this place, man. Because you did wrong, man. And you ain't kept the Lord in your way or your face or nothing, man. You ain't look to the Lord. You look to your own strength, man.
He actually cast the word he was presented with. You know, even all the way to that day, you got Moses and the prophets all the way to the day. This nigga cast it away. He got a cell phone, a computer. That's how he gonna get out the situation.
Oh, science.
Yeah, science.
Yep. Isaiah 47. It's about trusting and not weakness.
Finish off Micah 2:2. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage.
Yeah, and they went around the earth scoundering and scavenging, man. All right, this is that vagabond that have no home. This is that fugitive that have no place, no rest to go to, man. All right, this man creeping from house to house, man. Who would trust? Hey, get that, trust the people well appointed.
Hey, can I say too? Then it says, oppressive a man in his house, in his heritage. That goes to these devils taking your nationality, man. You know, because like we go into from time to time, this man took everything from us, right? But then when we found hope, he took that, or he attempted to. He said, you know what? Nah, God is divided for everybody. You know, but you know what? Even further than that, we the Jews, we the chosen. So that's oppressing a man and even his heritage, man. And that key word there, oppressed, that put Esau at the scene of the crime. Because he get a kick out of oppression. That's why you got to fill out a damn application, man. He just want to vex you in every way that he can.
Real quick, this on Sirach. Ecclesiastes 36 and 26. Who would trust a thief? Well appointed.
Well appointed, man. Who appointed this man, man? Esau, man. Yahweh Shai.
Gave him a sword.
Yeah, he gave him a sword.
Giving a great sword. The Lord sent them out on that mission. The Lord said, look, go take peace from the world. Here you go, take this sword with you. He was well appointed. The Lord got it right. Yahweh Shai picked the right nation to bring wickedness to the planet Earth. Yeah.
It says, who would trust a thief? Well appointed. That skipper from city to city.
Yeah, you skip it from city to city, man. Habakkuk 2 explains that well. 2 and 5 transgressing by wine. All right, Proverbs 7 explains that well. She keeps it out of that foot in her house. All right, he skipping from city to city, slaughter them. And guess what else he do? He take your heritage and he introduce to you Christianity.
That's right.
You got a picture of Caesar Borgia on your wall, man, all the way in Afghanistan.
Yeah. Niggas going to everybody's house, take the seed.
Man, and he got it.
He got it. But he threw it all up.
And he texts you for what you got. That's it, man.
Hold on, I'll finish it off. It says, so who will believe a man that have no house and lodging wheresoever the night taketh him?
Hey, man, this man is the vagabond that the scripture say it is. Who gonna believe him? Why should you believe him? And what's the contrast to that? Never trust thine enemy, man. That's the contrast.
That's like that's making more sense now. You gonna trust a man that gives you a syringe
And
and say, here, take this. Yeah. Come on, man.
That's it, man.
He had no house. You supposed to be announced here.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to
address
be.
here in America.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. because that's their rebuttal. So go back to Africa. Oh, look, why you here, man? You should be in Mount Seir. In the cold, damp caves and crevices of Mount Seir.
Yeah. This is why they science always take them back to the Neanderthal. This ain't no billion years ago, man. This a few yeah, you're right. Yeah, a few hundred years ago, man.
This ain't civilized.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
want to talk about civilization.
Yeah,
These Edomites ain't civilized, man.
they ain't civilized.
All thing they took a nice little shade. They might put some water on their body.
Well, we had to deal.
They still Edomites.
We did that.
We had to show them how to wipe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We had to show them how to wipe their ass, man. You know, period.
Oh, but Esau, his thing is he civilized everybody.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
reason why they're giving you Maxine, and, you know, you see Bill Gates influence in these other countries. The rallying cry is they're trying to civilize the people. Yeah, yeah.
This Daniel 7:25. He shall speak great words against the Most High,
Yep.
and shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Yeah, he's wearing out the saints by what he come out every other day and tell you, hey, trust in the saints. And he's talking soft and sweet. Trust in the saints. That's going against, you know what I'm saying? What about herbs? What about natural remedies, man? You know what I'm saying? You want to throw that out the book? Yeah, trust what we got going on for you. All right? Yeah, we did Tuskegee, you know. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we dropped bombs on Nagasaki. But hold on, just give me a chance to explain. And this is what he trying to do. Go ahead.
Let me make it right.
Let me
Read on. And think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until times and the dividing of time.
Yeah, the times and divided time. He done changed the times and everything, man. Hey, what daylight savings is about, man? That's just one example, man. All right? Now people looking and figuring out, oh, Sabbath might be on Saturday. No, it's about a new moon, man. Okay? 17.
God, this is Book of Solomon 17 and 8. It says, for they that promise to drive away terrorists
See, they promising to drive away terrorists, right? See,
and troubles from a sick soul,
see, we sick. Take this, trust in this science, man. Trust in what we got going. Go ahead.
were sick themselves.
See, motherfuckers sick, man. All right? Go ahead.
It says, were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at.
And these people are worthy to be laughed at, man. I mean, we dying over here laughing, man. You coming out with masks on top of masks, mandates on top of mandates. Not only the third booster, but you got to get fucked.
Somebody came to you like, yeah, bro. That's my But it says, yeah, they were sick themselves.
Yeah.
This nigga trying to fist on you, but he bleeding now.
He bleeds.
Them a little bit.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Everything this man touch, it corrodes away. It gets destroyed. Everything this man put his hands on, everything he touched, that's why he's known as disease. He'll be consumed by the,
Scripture tell you that the one that destroyed the earth, the whole earth, man. All right, this man, when he handles something, he don't handle it, you know what I'm saying, with care. You see, even the animals, man, he got it out, man. You see, for each and everybody on this earth, man, if he can't have it, can't nobody have it.
What can I say? He handled it with the sword. You ever saw? Yeah, y'all gonna go into it. Y'all ever see the old movie Edward Scissorhands? Y'all remember that? Imagine Edward Scissorhands trying to caress you. You know, he gonna kill you. He's rubbing you with his hands. You know. Oh, that's why the scripture say, even the tender mercies of the wicked is cruel. So even when he's trying to help you, he's gonna kill you, man. Or if he act like he's helping you, either way, across the board, so-called white man gonna kill you.
Got a thing called spade and neuter. You know what I'm saying? With animals, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if y'all seen that video, but of course, this draconian law is coming down on the animals too, even your domestic pets, cats and dogs. And you got the Edomite with a spoonful of peanut butter, and he tricking the dog. Once he gets that peanut butter, boom, hit him with the jab, man.
They doing that in zoos. They jabbing up animals in zoos.
This gorilla is subject to.
Yeah. Why is death? Why is everything centered around your nation is death? Well, we know why, because this is the valley of the shadow of death. This is Babylon the Great, the place of darkness, man, gross darkness, where danger lurks. Well, you need the light to navigate through this place, man. Look, anybody outside of this circle, you're going to die. We can make that call like that. We ain't got to go into no breakdown. We ain't got to come together and huddle up. Hey, come on, what you think about him? No, if you ain't in the truth, you're going to die. Hey, because why? You have succumbed. Eventually, you're going to succumb to the advances of the sword, man. It's not like Esau going to let up off you. You good. You could have come through. You all right. You know? Eventually, you're going to succumb to Esau's advances. And that's in the spirit I was trying to get. I wanted to. You motherfucker strap down, man. And you can see the breath. You like these people dying. yeah, here in Babylon the Great. Okay? Look, I see that you try to make it up. Heard that motherfucker? And you can't breathe, man. Hey, that's why the scripture, hey man, the scripture talk about the simple. The simple pass on and are punished. You know? Yeah, I don't see that mother making it, man. The walk that you want, that's a dangerous walk. You strapped up every day you come out the house. Not to mention you eat pork. You know that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a bad call. It makes you lash out. Oh, like the guy you try to talk to. He lashed out. He just come off a pork chop sandwich. Yeah. What scripture? The Lord said, swine will turn around and rinse you. As you eat that pork, that spirit, make it. That's Then the motherfuckers snap back at you. Motherfucker just coming up a pork chop sandwich. You knock your pearls aside. At least they turn and rinse you.
Please ask us 13.
Real talk, like, by the way, like a lot of meat makes you more, you know, that's in the scripture. But how much more pork?
Please ask us 13 and 13. Observe and take good heed.
Yep, observe and take good heed. Why?
For thou walkest in peril of thy overthrow.
Yeah, we walk in the perils of thy overthrow, man. It's the valley of the shadow of death, man. Every turn, every corner, every avenue of boulevard, you are subject for death, man. It's lurking. See?
When thou hearest these things, awake in thy sleep.
What things you supposed to hear when you supposed to wake, man? The scriptures, man. Yeah. That is calling. We ain't calling nothing but the hopefully elect, man. We ain't worried about nobody else, especially other nations. However, we do have to prophesy against them.
Hey, can I say something? That would make this offensive. The Jake expect us, they want us to cater to them. No, the hell with you. We just present the word, and for those who it might pique their interest, then they come in. Like if Jake wants you to, you know what I mean? Sell yourself to them, man. Really, all of you people, you was conditioned to believe that everything, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. This is the one nation where you can do anything. You can be a woman and be a man, or you can be a man and be a woman. Okay, in this society. So it's everything is open to you. But this is the one thing that everybody can't come into. This is the one thing that you can't conjure up. And you say, you know what, I studied enough. You come back this week. I studied, you guys. How can I come in? Hey, no. With the pigeons until cut them out.
Ask 13:13. Observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in peril of thy overthrow.
Yeah, you walk in the perils of your overthrow. And where is this place? Babylon the Great, aka America, man. All right? When your little one got more say-so than you do. He got 3 numbers he can push. 911. Now the whole family in jail. You didn't know your brother was off, your sister off, daddy was off, and mama off because he got access to 911. You see? Go ahead.
When thou hearest these things, awake in thy sleep.
Yeah, awake, man. Arise and depart because this is not our rest. What you sleeping for? What you resting for? Why are you not prophesying? Why are you not condemning this man? You see, this man been wreaking havoc on the planet Earth ever since he came into power for real, man. Ever since the Lord gave him that power. All right? Why would you think he's going to change? He's not going to change, man. He's a motherfucking devil. He's a serpent, man, from the beginning. You see? He ain't going to change, man. He's always going to be adverse to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. Simple saying and put. Okay?
Yeah. So Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. Never trust thy enemy.
Never.
Hey, going back to that, just that word never. Under any circumstance,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck you ill about to die.
Yeah.
Don't trust that nigga, man.
That's it.
Because your death might be worse if you go to hell. You know what I mean? But it says never means under any circumstance you should never trust this man. Out of all this time. Oh, matter of fact, he said, I'm Russell. Matter of fact, you got this nigga got worse over time, man. He got worse over time. I'd rather deal with the devil in the 1950s than deal with the 2021. At least I know that nigga hate me, man. You know what I mean? You know? Now he want to help you.
That's that snap.
Right, that's it.
You know what I mean? Come on. The devil in the 1950s said, stay out of my neighborhood. This devil said, come on. So I can kill you.
That's it.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. Never trust thy enemy. But like as iron rusteth, so is the wicked.
So yeah, time itself lets you know that this nigga's the devil, man.
Process of time. They
You
don't
know what I
even age
mean?
well.
Hell no. I'm saying. And you see they start to look like rats when they get older. Big ass ears and nose. You know? The nose, they start to look like they have little whiskers and shit. You know.
Oh, man.
He's stuff. You already know.
With that church of chicken.
But that's the part of the Esau, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the product of Esau.
And you know, Jacob trust that nigga. Man, and shit.
Yeah.
Now this nigga,
That's the part of the
yeah, nigga, that's what he dressing like.
Yeah.
You know when you watch too many Tyler Perry movies, man, you understand, like,
He
man,
got all the plays.
he got all the plays, Mondale plays, everything. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but this is the place, you know what I'm saying, where wickedness is at its highest. This is the wickedest place on planet Earth. Not only the wickedest, but the most famous place on planet Earth, man. Hey, this Trump Babylon. This Trump Sodom and Gomorrah. Hey, like I said, man, these people are, man, they're right. They want to teleport out. They take me back to Sodom and Gomorrah, man.
Well, they might go back and prophesying like, look, man,
No.
stop this shit, man.
Yeah.
But it's under the banner of the wicked, though. Who's ruling? The so-called white man. That's why these things are being allowed now.
Yeah, he's giving the liberty, the water liberty to gather abroad, man. And that go for you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And if you trust in this, man, hey, death be to you, man. Thus says the Lord, man. Destruction is coming to your door, man. Up close and personal. And you're gonna see the Lord we know. Hey, our reality is gonna become your reality. How about that? Yeah.
They're telling about the change.
Yeah. Exactly. Hey, well, that's why he asked Esau, why have thou counted his falling? So if the head of the snake counts his falling, whoever follows the snake, the fight, it's gonna fall with him.
They always see the thing you keep in mind. These people are defeated. But these at least have been defeated years ago. You know, ever since the apostle and elder came, you know, even before that, dealing with Abba, they've been dealing with this.
Yeah.
Now it's just trickling down now to Joe Sisbeck and shit. Just he can't get that, you know.
We see him wound.
Joe Sisbeck feeling the resistance. He feeling the you know, that judgment over his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
They know they about to kick the bucket as well now, you know.
That's it.
It has trickled down just to these low-level mortals.
Ecclesiastes 12:11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
See, yeah, and that's because guess what? You had the 60s and you had hippies. They want to smoke a blunt with you now. You can't trust a nigga like, hey, after all these times you beat my ass, now you want to come together.
I had to go to the back for the meal.
Yeah.
Now you want to get a meal right here to me. Oh, something wrong with you. You need to look at that now. I got to drink out a different water fountain, but now all of a sudden you want to give me free water. Hold on, man. Something is wrong with that, man. If you have any inkling of sense, you'll step back and examine yourself.
And can I say real quick? See, that idea is far into the modern person because they look at it like that was the past. That's why you got to be able to import the ingredient of reincarnation. You know, understanding that nothing dies in the sight of Yahweh Ba'asham. It transcends to the spirit world and then it's regenerated back. Everything is moving forward with the Lord. That's why we look at the planet Earth, the rivers and seas, they just keep coming and going. They don't just spill out of the planet Earth. They keep spinning and coming back and forth. So that's the spirit. So you will never be able to pick up on what we're talking about. Because you'll have somebody say, well, that was in the 60s. No, those same spirits back today, man. And they hate you. Okay? Yeah, that's the only way you get to the bottom of things. You pull somebody up so they work. Hey, that's why Scripture speaks about her weakness of right. What's that? Revelation. Was it Revelation 14? Her grapes are ripe. So everything has to grow into its perfection. You know. Yep. All right, come on. Where you reading that?
Read again. Ecclesiastes 12:11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed.
And those are the ways of a hunter. Okay, when a hunter sits up in a tree, camouflage, or a hunter set a snare, that's a form of him humbling himself. Okay, humbling yourself don't necessarily mean you walk up. You know what I mean? No, humbling yourself meaning you don't appear to be a threat, so to speak. All right. You are not posing yourself to be a resistance. That's humbling yourself. That's standing down. Okay? So the so-called white man, he's coming across as if he's, you know, he have no ill intention. Right? Go ahead.
Yet take good heed and beware of him.
Yeah, you ought to take good heed and beware of him. And how does that happen? Beware. When you beware of something, you have to have aware. Beware and aware pretty much. It's meshed together. In order for you to beware of something, you have to be aware of it. I can't be aware of what can happen in your neighborhood unless I'm aware. I heard about the crime rate. I'm aware of how y'all get down over here. So now I'm going to be aware. Well, that's the same with us. We're aware of the ill dealings and treacherous acts of Esau, man. Give it there how nice and spiffy the suit is. Fuck it. Go ahead.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass.
Right, you know, if you wake up and you know, or you adjust the lenses, right? Go ahead.
And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
And that right there gives us ground to look at his past. We got every right in the world to look at the past of the so-called white man. Yeah, we got every right in the world to scrutinize this devil, man. Why wouldn't we? Hey, because when you go into it, that's the right there. When you go into it, right? Let's not even take it there. Let's slow it down. Let's say if you want to get to a house or a car, take a look into your past credit history, man.
That's it.
You can't do that. You can have your bread right, all that. It's not based upon that. It's based upon your rep. See, that's how the Lord snares it, though. And that will make him a hypocrite too, man. He want to talk us down and tell us not to consider the past. That was the past. Why are you going there? We should move forward. Well, hold up. If I wanted to go get a house or a car or something like that, right? They got to take an in-depth look into my past. Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? That spirit on my way here, they were talking about it on the radio. Yeah, it's the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and that was the inside joke. Matter of fact, give me Ecclesiastes real quick. We're gonna come back. Give me Ecclesiastes 14. You got that? Oh, that was that? Oh, that's good. that, give me that.
Sirach chapter 14 and verse 5. He that doeth evil to himself.
Get the camera. They put a drone over it. Yeah, see it again.
Sirach 14 and 5. He that is evil to himself.
Hold on. Hey, you got the motherfucker on fire, man.
They're on fire, huh?
Yeah, motherfucker on fire, man. Yeah, they got the target on there. Hey, y'all see that? Is it showing up on that one? Can y'all see that drone?
Yeah. And they shoot flamethrowers and everything.
Hey, let us know if y'all can see that drone. Oh, this what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, they still hovering over. Yeah, like we on camera. We on camera. Yeah.
Is it there?
Hey, that's a professional shit like that.
Hey, that motherfucker might on fire over there.
Yeah, get that, y'all. Put it back, get that on there, get that. No, don't worry about it.
Now you might see a circle goddamn.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, come on. Get that. Let's go back and see it. Yeah, go ahead.
This book of Psalm 37, verse 32, it says the wicked watcheth the righteous.
Yep, the wicked watcheth the righteous, man.
And seeketh to slay him.
Yeah, and he's seeking to slay us. You know? You get the sign, though, bro. Get this one right here. Get this one right here. Yep, come on.
Psalm 37, verse 32, it says the wicked watcheth the righteous.
Right, the wicked watching us, man. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
It says, and seeketh to slay him.
And seeking to slay us. You know? Hey, that's just a feeble attempt. You know, man, that's what you reduced to, man. You know? There's nothing you can do to offset, to slow down the momentum of your house shot. The overwhelming spirit of the Lord is here, man. Hey, the Lord has declared war against America. And that's what we represent. That's why you have people like, you got to ask yourself, why is there so much emphasis on hindering this word or putting a muzzle on what we talking about? Why we getting emails from YouTube guidelines? But meanwhile, you know, you have twerk videos or, you know, goddamn tranny. Nobody is no uproar about that. See? Yeah, oh yeah, the cartoons. Totally. Yeah, really, Funyuns and shit like that, that's really relevant. You know what I mean? Then you know you got the Pat and on the back of it, they got all of these ingredients. And you can't pronounce the word. It starts with a Z and an X.
They do like
You know?
ingredients, but most used to the least.
Yeah.
Most shit, the last ingredient be like water or some shit.
Yeah.
That means they use that shit the
That's
least.
the least, yeah. But Zonophophobia, that's the first one, yeah. But yeah, let's go back to what we were saying in the spirit. Today is the anniversary of 9/11. And it shows you how much these devils is, how hypocritical they are, right? They pretty much push that shit, you know, and they actually use it to condemn or discriminate against. They say, why you ain't showing love to this day when they the ones who performed this shit, man? It's well documented that was an inside job, man. The way the buildings went down.
The nigga that was just taking them pictures, he just walked around that way, hopped in the truck, and that drone was standing.
Oh, word? What?
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that drone went down there, and nigga that was taking them pictures and went down there.
Yeah, okay,
They
come
just
on.
hopped in the truck. Like he did with it. That nigga said, y'all the Birmingham branch, man.
Oh, that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You got it.
Like somebody building, that was the demolition.
Yeah, demolition. Yeah.
Perfect right there. Then no debris anywhere else, but right there in that footpath.
Yeah, that was a demolition job. The way the buildings collapsed, yeah, the way it came down. So that was it. Now, what he was doing, he was pretty much signing a legislation into existence. That's what that was all about. Yeah, the Patriot Act was. That's what they do. Like for an example, you know, right now they're trying to compromise the First Amendment. So how they do that? They set up false flags. Yeah, they set up false flags where like somebody open fire, a disgruntled co-worker, walk in the job and open fire on everybody. And that justifies them signing off on them gun laws. See?
Wow.
So that's the same with that 9/11 thing. They were trying to sign laws in effect that can affect domestic terrorism. You can see it now. That's why they had a terrorist act on the soils of America, so they could push forth that. The results of that 9/11, you're seeing it now. You got domestic terrorism. So that was done. Matter of fact, before let's get that Ecclesiastes real quick. 14. Who had that? You got that? Come on.
This Ecclesiastes 14:5. He that is evil to himself.
See, he that is evil to himself. So hey, that's Esau, so-called white man. He's evil to himself. He killed his own people, man. You know, he's killing his own people. Yeah. Go ahead.
I like to say evil to himself.
Yeah, he's evil to himself. Right, go ahead.
To whom will he be good?
Right, so if he's evil to himself, how he gonna be good to you? You know? That's what hey, and I'm gonna say this. These higher up, the elites, they don't give a damn about the average Edomite. They don't care about them. They got McDonald's out there for them too, man. You know? Yeah, Mountain Dew is accessible. They don't care about themselves. That's why they known as dogs. Because if you was to throw a piece of meat out to a pack of wild dogs, they're not going to sit down and diplomatically work it out. They're going to take each other's head off for the meat. That's what Esau did. Like these higher ups, they seized control of the resources of the planet Earth, and they said, the hell with the rest of the Edomites. Yeah, greedy dog. Yep, go ahead.
Verse 7 it says, if he doeth good, he doeth it unwittingly.
Yep.
And at the last he will declare his wickedness.
Yeah, at the last he's going to declare his wickedness. That's why you see people getting that thing, and they got blood clots. You had the one guy who had the sausage feet, the Dakota sausage feet. And I'm glad he got that, man. He was a scoffer. I could tell in the spirit. The way he opened up the video, he said, man, guess what, man? You know, he sounded like he was disappointed. Like he had been debating or doing something. Man, guess what, man? Then he touched that, he came to his feet. Yeah, that boy has two red hot.
Ecclesiastes 12:16. The enemy speaketh sweet with the lips.
Right. And as he can speak it with his lips, goes into his rhetoric, man. From his media to his entertainment, it's set up to be sweet. It's set up to lure you to sleep. It's another ploy by the hunter. Again, a hunter, he sets up snares, and the snares is an effort to lure you to sleep, man. See, when you see a rat on the trap, it's the results of them being drawn to it. You just see the rat sprawled out. It was a process. It was cheese or something on the snap what drew him in. So that's how Esau got Jake, man. Through his rhetoric, through his media, his entertainment. That's why Jake, they follow the trend, you know, of the so-called white man. Them some, man, you guys, man, you some playing the homeowners. That's what it's more about. Good. Instead of just coming to us and say, man, look, I want to do a documentary. Okay, go ahead. And we'll just tell you no. You come across the wrong person, somebody gonna do something with that. Somebody gonna jump up there. Take it. Yeah, go ahead.
But in his heart, he imagined how to throw thee into a
And there
pit.
go that word heart. That heart is going into his secret council. Okay, these different legislations and laws that's going forth, it don't come out of thin air, man. They actually sit down and meet, like the Bilderberg meeting, and then voila, they come out the oven with legislation, mandates. But now you got to get jabbed. See, go ahead.
But in his heart, he imagined how to throw thee into a pit.
Right, yeah, so this man is trying to overthrow you. And because really when you get into this thing, it far exceeds the comprehension of average people. That's why we won't take nobody serious, man. Like average person, nigga in a kufi. We don't take him serious. We know he don't really understand what's really taking place on the planet Earth. It's a power struggle going on against the elites of Esau. Let's get that sign up real quick. Pop up the shot. These people, the elites, those who vote, seize control of the planet Earth, man. It's a resistance. It's a spiritual war going on. You people don't know nothing about. Right? This entity, right on the left-hand side, is resisting the elect of the nation of Israel. Those who the Lord promised to come into power, man. That's what's taking place. See, that's why I said, read that again.
But in his heart, he imagined how to throw thee into a pit.
Yep, go ahead.
He would weep with his eyes, but if he found opportunity, he would not be satisfied with blood.
And this is the perfect opportunity. That's why you see this man not falling back. He's furthering, he's advancing this whole mystery pandemic. This is a plan. This is part of the game plan. This man came out, this is a part of his playbook. This is how the so-called white man chose to somehow seize control, gain momentum again of the planet Earth by finessing you with this pandemic. And it's a more subtle form of war. You know, instead of just coming in and airing you out, he's finessing you. Like, you sick, let me help you. And I just kill you that way. It's less resistance. It ain't that much carnage. You know what I mean?
I don't know, I think it was under Bush, he said war is a real messy way to get
Yeah,
rid of it.
yeah. Yeah, it's too messy for him now. Yep, go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 12:17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first.
Man, who there first? That's the question you gotta ask yourself, man. That ain't talking about a guy in a red spandex suit with horns on his head. Read that again. Because that's the way a Christian will break that down to you. Or your pastor. They have, the way they'll provide perspective is by saying, yep, if the devil come to me, hold on, when he gonna come to me? In a nightmare? No, man, it's talking about this man now, right? Who's in power. Read that again.
Ecclesiastes 12:17. If adversity come upon thee,
Right, if adversity come upon thee, let's go into some times of adversity. When you came over here as cargo, as slave, and you was rounded up from the interior West after you were chased out of Jerusalem in 70 AD. Even more recent history, when you were hung and castrated. That was adversity, right? Well, who was that? Always it was the so-called white man in there. Hey, even when you go back to ancient Babylon, we was running from the Babylonians. Just to tell you how Esau was down, man. He was clapping his hand and pointing us out. We was trying to run for our life. Okay? Damn devil, man. That shit don't really mess with how the planet Earth. That Martin, you know, that shit off, man. Everybody Lord gonna get rid of it. Just go ahead.
Thou shalt find him there first.
Right, so when you was hanging on a tree, he was on the other side of the rope, man. And these devils will have you think that they not with that. But you think they talking about Malcolm X at the dinner table, Martin Luther King. You know, they talking about Andrew Jackson, man. They talking about your flip there too, man. Get that gator bait. They actually used to set up scenarios where little babies had to run from alligators, man.
That's it.
This is your opportunity and benefit, man. And the nigga out of his simplicity, the nigga in his simplicity. That's serious. NIS, episode 1. The nigga in his simplicity, he'll be content with the so-called white man. He'll say, no, that's the past, just because the white man gave him a record deal or some crazy shit, or a basketball contract. But we are not to forget that. Matter of fact, give me that song. Give me that real quick, man. Hey, because the only way you can bring justice, and that's why you see them old gang, especially out in LA. Gang, that's heavy too, man. Them gang war guys. It always they go right there. So before they kill you, you ever notice that? Before they kill you, that's the first thing they say. They go right there. It's based upon a memory. It's based upon remembrance. Remember that shit you said? That's the very essence of vengeance, man. So the Lord remembered Esau. See, he changed. Now you got on t-shirts and, you know what I mean, sandals and shit, cargo shorts. But you the same, no, you them same motherfuckers who came over here with those mercenaries. With Christopher Columbus in them, man. The band of goons, Andrew Jackson and his goons. You the same motherfuckers, man. So the Lord gave us the mental capacity to remember that.
This is Ecclesiastes 3:15. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been.
That's it.
And the Most High requires that which is past.
See, the Most High requires that which is past. And that's why there's so much friction with this form of teaching too. Because the Christian will tell you, man, that was the past, man. You know, no, the Lord required a past. That's the only way you get to the bottom of things. Hey, think about this, real talk. You see somebody pounding somebody out, right? It's based upon something. It's based upon something. You know what I mean? That was a build-up that exploded and spilled over to somebody chasing you. Man, you see somebody frantic, running for their life. You know he did something, man. But that's the same with the Lord in him, what's that, Jeremiah 49? The Lord said the time, the visitation of Esau, man. It's time when you, all right, come on, what was that? All right, do what you got.
Jeremiah 13:23.
Yep.
Can the Ethiopian change his skin?
Yep.
Or the leper his spots?
Yeah, we know the answer to that. A leper can't change his spots. Neither an Ethiopian can change his skin. Go ahead.
Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil.
And that's the so-called white man. You take a glimpse into his past, you look back in retrospect, it's riddled with bloodshed, man. And his pursuit of power, it was based upon, it was at the expense of blood, man. From the nation to the animals. Oh, this is an infamous picture. There's a picture of one of those settlers. Damn, that word, settlers. That's both, man. Settle. You come in, you settle into my shit. Man, these motherfuckers crazy, man.
And that ain't no but an ancient day squatter.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. That's bold as hell. You settling on my shit. And then give me the bathroom. Yeah. In my house, and you say, you know what, you live in the bathroom. Yeah. The basement. A lot of times they just kick you out. They'll just kick you out. And then what they do, they come and you come and just, yeah, they pitch on the wall. Mount Rushmore. Yeah. That's Mount Rushmore. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, my shit, like you used another. You got another lease. You know what I mean? I got the same your lease. That's the government. But like I was saying, right? It's a picture with one of those settlers. He had a goddamn mountain of bison skulls, buffalo skulls, man. Yeah, like what? Yeah, I see that. It's a pyramid. What the fuck? What? See? Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, 137 itself. Remember, O Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the children of Edom.
Right, so the scriptures encourage us to remember the children of Edom. First of all, if you really inquiring, you will ask, who is Edom? Okay, well, we found out Edom is the so-called white man. Okay? The scriptures go into vivid illustration of who the people on the planet Earth are today. And it's not blacks and Americans and whites and Africans and Chinese. You know what I mean? Arabs. No, those are corporate names when you really get into it. No, it goes into nationalities, lineages, according biblical nationalities. And the Edomites, when you read the scriptures, what you find out is the Edomites is the offender. That's the one whom the Lord is after. That's who the Lord set his sights on. And once you connect the dots, and you say, well, hold up, this motherfucker is the one that's promoting pork. And the scriptures say don't do that. Not the Edom. This motherfucker is the one that's promoting, exalting women over men. The scriptures don't say that. This motherfucker do also promote homosexuality, man. You actually have an LGBTQ. And that's that. You got to stop at something, actually, what do the acronyms mean? Like Q, that's Q, that's a queer. It is more. It's like this acronym really extends. Yeah.
Nice got their own flag. Trans got their own flag.
Then you know you got the bestiality motherfucker. And they actually got a website out there for motherfuckers like that. You got a thing for a hamster. You go on there and you have a thing. And that sounds crazy. But they actually into that. It's even like they're into that.
They're making pedophilia a new thing now. Yeah. They even got a society for that. What's it called?
Peter. Oh, Denver. Yeah. Yeah, Nation of, Young Boy Lovers. That's the name of it.
North American Man Boy Lovers.
Yeah, North American Men Boy Lovers. Yeah, with the Boy Scouts, that's just a pilot submarine with the Boy Scouts. Yeah, that's an extension of the Boy Scouts. Or you have an old, motherfucking man. This place finished, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Psalm 137 itself. Remember, O Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem.
Right, the children of Edom. The children means now. The children will come after you. So we're talking about this lifetime. Scripture tells us to remember them. Okay, don't let them get away. Real quick, get Isaiah 14. Yeah, now, come on, get that Isaiah 14.
It's 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 4. It says, who oppose them, and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, Lord that is worship.
Yep.
So that he is in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High.
Yeah, and that's that God places Esau too. That's Esau a wild boy, man. Real talk. That boy, he set himself up as if he's the Most High. He sit in the temple. That's why you had an image of Cesare Borgia. All right? When you go into the hierarchy of angels that dwell, amongst the throne of the Lord, Michael and Gabriel, and they got them depicted as white people, man. That's an offense, man. Oh, and they even go as far as having a little white naked baby with curly hair and shit with wings. Not to mention the patriarchs of the Bible, Moses, you know, Abraham. If you ever saw anything dedicated to the Bible, they depicted as so-called white people, man.
And just like that's just them playing out their fantasy, you know?
Yep.
Because like it says here, it said they sit in the seat as the Most High, thinking that he is the Most High. All right? Because right now what we're seeing, man, is that this man's deception is being overthrown. Because here it is, like I was going to, right? How they set their different laws, right? Saying that this is the absolute law. All right? Because the reason why, because they want to paint themselves as the Most High. You know? Because even today, when you look at their laws versus the laws of the Most High, they got more laws than the Lord does, man. You know, you got to follow all those different laws they have set in place. All right, and not to mention that those laws are against the scriptures, man. All right, even though today they say this is a God-fearing country, it's nothing even close to what the scriptures say, man. You know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, this motherfucker got all these different article section 423B. You know, this motherfucker got thousands upon thousands of laws, man, legislation. So let's show you the pride of this though. Why would you set up laws contrary? Now, mind you, Psalm 50 tell you how they actually had the words in their hand. They cast it off though. So yeah, you devil, your ass will be justified. Matter of fact, give me that. Now, let's get this one first. Let me get that.
With Psalm 2 and verse 11, it said, "Let our strength be the law of justice."
Now, when you read this in its entirety, this is dedicated to the disclosing of the thoughts, the inner thoughts of Esau, reasoning with themselves. When you read that chapter, and one of the things one of the conclusions they came to is they're going to let their laws be their strength. Read that again.
It says, "Let our strength
Yep, let our power, our strength, go ahead,
be the law of justice."
be the law of justice. So they feel justified in their law. That's why when they kick your door in, they have a warrant. They read off, "You're in violation of Article Section B43. Yeah. Yeah, because they're somewhat justified by their law. Showing you how off this devil is. Hey, that's why you have what you have today. This place, man, America, the very existence, the very being, right? It's based upon the so-called white man being given liberty. See, what you are witnessing is how a kingdom should be ran in the mind of that sick bastard, Esau. That's what you're witnessing. How a kingdom should be ran through the lenses of crazy motherfuckers like this. That's why you have men want to be women, women want to be men. You know, no order. Oh, that's in what, Job? A place of darkness where there is no order? You gotta see that?
Hey, the brother was talking about Esau got more laws than the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
That's no order. That's where the no order come in. Once you set up your laws contrary to what the Most High have already set up, then no order come in. Because the Most High is order.
The Lord had an author.
Not author of confusion.
So if it's confusion, that means Yahweh Shai ain't with it. And that means what? The Lord's going to overthrow this place. That power was still alive and well. We visited Sodom and Gomorrah. And you got to imagine that. That was a gloomy day, man. We talk about it. That was a heavy day. But the Lord had the elements to come down as fire on the earth, burning the people up, man. It burnt there at the crisp. It burnt them to ashes. They got zapped. That's why they got zapped with that land. From Yahweh Shai. Look at that spirit, the part of how we're going to that in the wilderness. That really when Yahweh Shai hovering over everybody, zapping them, man. And now you go into Sodom and Gomorrah with the wife, she was that pillar of salt, man. She was just everything was zapped, all the the water, everything was just zapped from her.
Man.
Go ahead. That was it. Okay, come on.
Good. This is Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness.
See, that trust in their wickedness, man. Esau trusts in his wickedness. All right? Now, when you really go into that goes into his laws. Yeah. Hey, really, when you look up that word, it has to go into it. One of the definitions is war. War like that goes to martial law. You look up that word. Matter of fact, not right there. When you go to that word, when you read on down, where it goes into that knowledge and wisdom have perverted thee. You go to the word wisdom right there, it goes into warlike. All right, go ahead.
God, it says,
Isaiah 47.
thou hast said, none seeth me.
Yeah, and that's how a criminal operates under the shroud of secrecy. A criminal not openly ransacking in your house, you know, it's done under the guise of darkness when you sleep. And he's ripping you off. That's how he's successful when nobody's there. And also got
It says, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee.
thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee. And the brother got the definition for that word wisdom.
This that word wisdom, Strong's X 2451. It says wisdom, skill in war.
See, skill in war. Now that goes back to, hey, how Esau gonna establish his new world order in his mind through martial law? Which, when you break that term martial law down, it translates to warlike law. Warlike law. And it makes all the sense in the world. Why? Because that's Esau's blessing. How else he gonna advance further? It's gonna be through war, man.
It says wisdom and administration.
What's gonna be administered? That thing. And you know what's gonna be the bridge to that war. Well, it's under the guise of war. That's why Biden able to say running out of patience here now, because it's based upon legislation that comes with a penalty. I can't tell you, you know, man, hey, my patience wearing thin. You know, the only way I can be able to tell you that is because there's some set up, there's a guide, there's a boundary, a restriction, which you keep pushing me. You keep pushing me to the brinks of. So this is legislation. All right, that was it on the right. All right, come on.
God, it says, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee.
Yep.
And thou hast said in thy heart,
Yep.
I am, and none else besides me.
Right, this devil, he have boasted in his technology, man, his science. So much so that he said, look, I'm the guy, and there's none beside me. And one of the examples of that is the Big Bang Theory. We always bring that up. This devil came up with a presentation to offset Yahweh from outside. He said everything came about from a ball of gas. It exploded. And all of a sudden you got giraffes. Man, get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
So that could have happened. You know?
Anything to give the Lord his credit. Instead of saying, you know what, it must be a highly intelligent power. Hey, because everything in order. Like it's information on I forget where it was at, but the wolves in that area became scary. And it broke everything else down. Like once the wolves got scary, then the deer started dying, yeah. The water got all messed up because that one wolf, he incorporated, if you will, infused into the cycle, it threw everything else off. Let's show you how heavy the Lord is, man. Everything is here with a certain office. Bees, every animal is here serving the purpose that makes everything function. That's just like your body. As insignificant as certain parts of your body might seem, without that working part, the whole body going to function. So that's which the planet Earth is a living entity. From space, the planet Earth is pulsating and breathing and shit. Oh, and again, that's why we're going to that point about how your blood runs through your body. That's how the water is on the Earth. It runs through your body, it runs through the Earth. Come on.
And that's it, real quick. If you look from a satellite view and look at the lakes and streams and shit, it look like your veins. It really look like your veins running through your body. That's it. That's it.
That's what they look like.
Yep.
Isaiah 47.
Yeah, that's it. It's not like your blood just go through your body and come out your feet. No, it go and it circulates and keep coming back. Man, the Lord out there, man. Go ahead.
Good. Isaiah 47 and 11. Therefore, evil shall come upon thee.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
thou
so the Lord said evil gonna come upon Esau, man. And if you pay attention here, this prophecy, man. Matter of fact, jump up to the first verse. If you want to read the first verse, you're going to jump at the way you
Good.
read.
In Isaiah 47 and 1, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Virgin daughter of Babylon is a dark saying, a metaphor for America, man. In the scriptures, according to the decree. See, what we pushing up here is an order, man. It's not we just coming up with some up here. No, we're telling you what's going to happen, man. This is the order from the king, which transcends the laws of men. The Spirit had me going to that word, transcend is a heavy word. It means to go far beyond. Go ahead.
It says, sit on the ground.
Oh, the Lord said that this place is going to sit on the ground. That symbolizes you being abased, demoted, if you will. Okay? This place, which was once considered the lady, the glory of kingdoms, is eventually going to sit on the ground. There's going to be power outages. There's going to be food shortages. The water going to become scarce. Yeah, it's going to be a heavy moment, man, when the Lord visit Babylon the Great. Go ahead.
It says, there is no throne.
Oh, no more rulership. No more power. And that throne is not going to just be left empty. Somebody going to occupy that throne. The power seat. We don't sit on that power seat. Oh, and that's offensive. That's offensive. You're telling you we the ones going to sit on power. People on this side, the most hated people on this side. Many people hate to see you walking in restaurants. Everybody on that side. They hate you. Go ahead.
God, it says,
walk in the bank, man, you feel it. People are going to kill this nigga, man. But that's how the Lord going to spice things up. Oh, yeah. You feel it. Yeah, you walk in, you know what I'm saying? People hate you, man. You like, damn.
it says, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
See? Oh, daughter of the Chaldeans. That word daughter, again, these key buzzwords you got to consider. You gotta, your daughter come after you. So that's talking about now, not the ancient Chaldean, but that word Chaldean that goes into magician, pretty much. Sorcerer. That's what you Americans are. You got that Urim and Thummim, you got date apps. Yeah, bitch can just on the fly have what she want like that, man. That's why the Lord's gonna visit y'all, man. Right. Yeah, the God of the Bible, the one who you put your trust, you feel as if the Lord is some passive power, waiting on you to come back to him. So the Lord paused to kill you. You're still gonna get to the throne, man. All right, good.
For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Right, and you see that here in America, this place is no more being called tender and delicate. Right, you go to these big cities. Let's say like you from one of these Lithuania, and you come over here and you think that you hear about New York City. You get there, you see rats.
Yeah.
Read that again.
Okay, it says, thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
See, because at one point, their forefathers were saying that place tender and delicate. But you get over here, you're not calling it that. Yep, go ahead.
Back in Isaiah 47 and 11.
Oh, like you had something? Oh, yeah, come on.
Yeah. Like I know you speaking about, because that's the nature of the world. The world that you look beautiful on the outside, right? On the inside, it's just right? And that's why the Lord called this place Babylon the Great, the Great War. Okay, because once you look at it from the outside, right, it looks tender and delicate, like I'm saying, right? But once you get into like the ways of America's ran and everything, you see everything, they saw it was great, man. The same thing with the moment, man. That's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about it. And also as well, that's why it's also Brittany says every man going to his own country. right? Because I believe is you know, I was speaking with you know, like somebody from out the country, right? And you know, they had all, you know, lands and stuff. You know, they had everything, you know, their own possessions, you know, their property. And they come to America, right? They were thinking that they were gonna live a better life. But when they were telling me, they were saying that you know, they had to, you know, work so many hours just to meet the same measure that they had back in their country. Yeah. They said that too. So you gotta have a rent, mortgage, all that. That's what I was. When you get to America, you see it from the inside. This place is poised to be destroyed. You know?
Oh, that's Isaiah. Is it Isaiah 24? No man should come into it. No man 10. I think it's 10. Yeah, no man would enter into it. Because that's another thing. A whore when she get older. And there was a point where, you know, everybody was spending money on her. Then when she get older, then no man will come into her. That's in the scripture. You know, that's why you see a lot of people that they going to Dubai and all, you know, these different places. They going to other places, you know. And these Edomites, they used to boast, like you Edomites, man. They used to boast in America. This is not even your land, man. You took this from the natives. Crazy, man. Go ahead,
Isaiah 47:11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee.
Right, so that's the judgment pronounced, okay, on America. Evil coming, man. Famine coming, okay? Martial law. These troops gonna be up close and personal. Your livelihood gonna be compromised. Guess what we found out? It's a snare from the God of the Bible. Okay, he have snared you, American. He caught you at ease. And suddenly, the wrath of Yahweh outside gonna fall upon you, man. Right. Whether it's while you scrolling through Instagram, and you hear that menacing sound in the garage. Hey man, you're outside, man. Hey, cause when the Lord made the statement about coming from the east to the west, it's heavy when you go into that word west. That means the place where the region where the sun sets. That means everything, this is the closing. Everything about this place represents the end. Yeah, the region where the sun sets. Well, your dreams, hopes, admiration, everything is gonna set here, man. See, we don't believe the hype. Like, you know, motherfucker pull up, you know, man, we know your shit finna come to an end. It's temporary at best. Good.
God, it says, therefore shall evil come upon thee.
Right, evil. When you break that word evil down, it translates to bad times, ill times. That's what's coming to America, man. What?
Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth.
Woo! You're not going to know because the Lord coming as a thief. Remember, Matthew 24th chapter, man. Yahweh Shai is where it's born, America. And when you go into like an overthrow, they don't really let the other nations know to a certain extent that they've been overthrown. They ain't gonna say we here. No, you're gonna just look up and you invaded. Well,
and mischief shall fall upon thee.
Yep, and mischief is gonna fall upon thee. And we know that in its perfection is gonna be in the form of World War III. When scripture says mischief shall fall upon you, all right? In its perfection, that's World War III. That's that mischief.
I got some real quick. We'll get them that mischief falling. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 7. And Psalm 7, I get to the point, verse 16. His mischief shall return upon his own head.
See, his mischief is going to return upon his own head. That's another dark saying. There you go. Now get that missile too. Yeah.
How you put on top?
Yeah, get over it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man. Mischief going to fall upon his own head.
It says, his mischief shall return upon his own head.
Yep, it's going to return upon his own head. Hey, because this devil in his pursuit of power, it was through war. Hey, and it's well documented how he went about it. For an example, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, we bombed in the group. That was mischief, man. Hey, when you go into that history, right? them groups, they waved the white flag. 72 hours before he dropped the bomb, they said, no, we don't want no smoke, man. And that devil came right around and they looked up the next morning, he was dropping bombs, man. And not to mention the other airstrikes and skirmishes that have broken out throughout this man's tenure. So when the scriptures say his mischief is going to fall upon his own head, that's dealing with World War III, man. World War III going to take you people by surprise. They're going to be beautiful too, man. When you look up and see them missiles coming down, the scripture speaks about that. Joel, the second chapter, it talks about how everybody's face is going to gather black. Meaning you're going to be confused. You're going to be looking at people. Do I see what I think of? You know? Yeah, then you're going to hear those. Oh, you're going to hear the trumpet going off too. It's some very eerie sounds out here. Hey, you know them sounds that go into a war? How about Shah created that, man? Them sounds you hear like, this is only a test. The eerie sound, that's, the Lord created that. That's the trumpets in their perfection. All right, come on. Come on. Yes, let me get that real quick.
It's Ezekiel 28, verse 5. By thy great wisdom, by thy cleverness, hast thou increased thy riches. And thy
like y'all read it again?
Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 5. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches.
Right, and that traffic goes into their business. You know? Because this place is built on, finance. Oh, what's that? The Fish Gate. Yep. The Fish Gate. You have, well, it's really the center of finance. Well, hold up now. America really with the military aspect is, I think that's what's that, France, is it? England, financial aspect.
Yeah, London is
London.
It's a city state.
Yep. For the financial state. That's the second fraud. The pre-fraud. But America itself is based upon it. That's why everything here is got imported. Like you see something imported or made here, imported there. This is a place of traffic, a place of business, man. Hey, because even when you get into your car at that point, business, you just got on the clock. Because really when you go out, you don't just go out and wander aimlessly. You're going to stop and shop or stop and get something to eat. Everything is business. Go ahead.
If I may add to it, that's why the roads that you see, really they're made for commercial use.
Right. Your license?
Yeah,
They see like Walmart, they see chips and salsa. It's like going on First Avenue and see everything categorized.
Yeah, everything categorized. Yeah. Your actual driving license means you are now a commercial driver. You really in business now. And that's also in Ezekiel. What you read from 28? That's also in Ezekiel 17. Where the Lord talk about that place of traffic, the place of trade, where we would be dropped off at. That's talking about America, man. Yep, come on.
It says, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches.
And dealing with the so-called white man, particularly them criminals, man. They got it. They seize control of all the resources of the planet Earth. In particular, the gold, oil, and diamonds. That's the acronym of God. I think it was the Oppenheimer. They got the gold, the Rothschilds, and there's another one. Oh, the DuPont. I know the Oppenheimers. I think they see control of the oil. But that's the acronym: gold, oil, and diamonds. Just to say the least. We ain't talking about the poppy seeds, the coca leaves. When they went over there, who that was over there? They hit. That the coca leaves. I read that was a poppy seed. I'm talking about down here in just put my goddamn man. He did a deal with back in the day. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And all of them, different ones, it was an organization or whatnot. Yeah, but Esau, like when they went over to Afghanistan, They seed the poppy seeds. That's why you got boy out here. You know. Oh, yeah, Vietnam, that was what. Yeah, they got the resource. Everywhere they go is to get resources. It's the corner of the market on whatever resources over there. Okay. Oh, that's why we know them people over there now. Where that was where they found all the gold?
Oh,
Congo. We know they dead. You ain't hear nothing else about them.
Yeah. You see backhoes and shit down there.
Hey, the criminal. Hey, that's a criminal. Like you hear the stories of guys on Instagram or some shit, and they flash their money. That's a video. It's funny if you ever saw the video, they get robbed on camera, nigga walk up, hit the window with the thing. You're like, man, hold up, you know. That's how he did them folks, man. They got on camera and showed their gold. All of a sudden, helicopters was coming, man. Like, they was coming out there with damn boulders of gold, man. I knew it with the spirit. When they put this on TV, I said, oh, that's it, man. He finna come knock them up. Go ahead.
It says, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore, thus says the Lord power, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of the Most High.
Yeah.
Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations. They shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom.
Yeah, so the Lord is going to actually destroy America. Hey, well, that's the throne. That's the baby of these banks, you know, Esau. And it's going to be based upon them exalting themselves up as the Most High. And it's driven by their riches. You know, everything that they have seen in this process, man. Go ahead.
And they shall defile thy brightness.
Back in Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 11, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it rises.
Right, so when the Lord visit America, right, you people not going to know from where it comes. That's why the scripture speaks about they should not be mindful of the scourge. Hey, because when shit jump out, you're going to have a simple nigga saying, Jesus, Jesus. Not knowing that it was Yahweh Shai, man. And that's going to be more and more of an indictment against you. The Lord's going to really bring the hammer down there. Go ahead.
It says, and mischief shall fall upon
Woo!
thee.
And mischief is going to fall upon you. That's that mischief. That's no mischief, missiles. But again, it's going to be perfected with the missiles. It's going to fall upon Esau. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not be able to put it off.
Yeah, so Esau, so-called white man, neither none of the nations, they're not going to be able to somehow slow down the momentum of World War III. They're not going to be able to come up and have a meeting and talk things down. No, the plans of the Lord are going to stand. Yep.
It says, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly.
Yep, desolation is going to come suddenly. Desolation translates to war, man, in the aftermath of it. All right, this place is going to be left a complete desolation, a desert place, a wilderness. Hey, America's going to be a monument. Scripture speaks about that. How once this place is destroyed, it's going to be left for a monument. People going to know how not to play with your how about some hour shot. Okay, when how America clown him. Yeah, he gonna ride around to the farm with the nigga. Come on, man.
It says, which thou shalt not know.
Yep, which thou shalt not, like him, that guy. He not gonna know. He gonna think he gonna stop and get some chicken fingers at the end of the night. So cool. Yeah, he gonna start looking at that bank app. Shit ain't gonna add up. He's not gonna know. Okay.
Fine. Stand now with thine enchantment.
Right. Yeah. So the Lord said, lean towards your go-to. Go to your strong suit. Go to your enchantment, and that's what he's doing. Right now, we're in the midst of that. Esau is standing with his enchantment. The heavy spirit of enchantment is going throughout the planet Earth, man. You know, again, the media, the rhetoric that's being pushed forth, this mystery pandemic. See? Motherfuckers, that's the guy, man. You don't see how sick that is, man? That's sick, man. But that go to show that these people are under that spell. Those enchantments. See, the scripture says, no enchantment shall be against Jacob.
says, stand now in thine enchantment, and with the multitude of thy sorcery.
Yep, and with the multitude of thy sorcery. Again, everything the so-called white man is doing to, again, try to gain momentum, regain momentum of leadership is based upon these principles, if you will. Obviously the sword and deceit, but sorcery, enchantments, man. Hey, you thought TV was there to really entertain you, man? No, it was there to keep you under a certain vibration. That's why the average person ain't concerned about the pulse on the planet Earth right now. They more so, watching the damn game or, they can't wait to get back to the madness. They saying get back to normal, but it's really get back to madness. Yeah, bread and circus, that's it. Bread and circus, and that shows that this is Rome again, too. Yep, go ahead.
It says, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth.
Right, so this man, ever since his coming into power, he's labored to try to establish this new world order. Hey, this is a labor to the so-called white man. Cigarettes being, pushed or pills or, anything that could potentially kill you, pork or whatnot. That's Esau laboring. That wasn't coincidental, man. This man always labors. He labors to throw you off the path. But ultimately, that labor going into what? Establishing this new world order and crowning it a success. Go ahead.
It says, if so be, thou shalt be able to profit.
Right, so the Lord said, if so, you're going to profit. If possible, you are going to get it off the ground. But we know that the Lord is being facetious right there. See, go ahead.
If so be, thou mayest prevail.
But we know they're not going to prevail. And that's in what? Jeremiah 5. Though they roar, they shall not prevail. So no matter what this devil do, like this guy Biden, he actually came out and he challenged us. He said the devil, we know he was talking to us. He came out and said he's running, his patience running thin. See? But no matter what, he's not going to prevail. Why? Because his destiny is already written. In the legacy of, the first fruits, the legacy of the first fruits, stemming all the way back from the beginning, the foundation of the world, they're going to carry out their role in destiny. They're going to actually sit on the throne. There's nothing the so-called white man can do about that. And this feeble attempt, which you can see that this attempt is shaky at best, man. It's tacky. It don't make sense. Case in point, like you got people walking around with masked up, right? But at the game, nobody got on mask.
Yeah, ain't nobody
Right there, you should say, why I gotta breathe in my own oxygen? Why I gotta die? Why I gotta die? Well, we understand what it is. It's a diabolical plot from the higher ups to carry out this phase in depopulation, man. Too many of you on the planet Earth. You know how they look at you as worthless, what they call them? They call you useless eaters. Because you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna go to Chick-fil-A, man. I guarantee you gonna go get some chicken fingers, man. Well, he already got some. he got the balls. He's been in order something, man. Yeah, he's gonna go pick it up. It's already back. And the serious part. And that's what it is. These elites, they trying to get rid of you, man. That's a part of that's the new world order. Go ahead.
It says, thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsel.
Right, this man is weary now. So all those counsels, that's why the infamous picture of David Rockefeller around the 5th heart transplant. This nigga had 7 heart transplants. But when you see his eyes, they look like money bags full of blood. He hadn't slept. And they up all night trying to figure out how to get rid of Israel. Go ahead.
It says, let now.
And that's another thing, like these elites, they don't eat what y'all eat, man. They eat healthy and all that, for the most part. That's why he lived to be that long, and he just had to do the heart transplant shit after that. Go ahead.
It says, "Thou art weary in the multitude of our counsels. Let now the astrologers,
let now your astrologers, go ahead,
the stargazers,
the
monthly prognosticators,
right, the monthly prognosticators. Hey, Esau actually have that at his disposal. You have higher level meteorologists, if you will, so you can understand. That's dealing with the elites, and they actually deal on the left-hand side. They gaze into the future in certain points. They look at constellations. They stole all that technology, man. They look at constellations. That's why they have certain rituals. Like they have, like for an example, like the MTV Awards. They're shrouded with the MTV Awards, but they have a ritual play out before your eyes, man. You know, to conjure up with one. Yeah, that's a ritual.
Yeah. They dress in all those type of tropical clothes and all that shit, man.
Even like rap videos. Like a nigga got a record deal, and the video producer said, "Yeah, let's do it this way." Yeah. And you don't know it's a ritual.
Posters to sale. You're never give those to sale.
Oh no, man.
Copies of them.
No.
Oh, we'd love to buy some copies of those.
Okay.
You have some copies made.
I got something for you real
Yeah,
quick.
come on.
It's Joel 18, and I started verse 7. The steps of his strength shall be straight.
Right, the steps of his strength. Steps mean your progression. Right? As this devil tries to further and move closer to his goals, it's going to be straightened. His strength going to be straightened. It's equivalent to you trying to climb up a hill. Each step is being straightened. You see? That's why you see everything this man's doing is now being questioned. Hey, even you have certain, what's this guy down in Florida? I forget his name, the governor. Yeah, he just came out and just resisted the idea of mandating being matched. Santos, something like that. Or you had the VP or the Wizards, he stepped down. So that contributes to the strength of his steps being straight. The so-called white man is in straight. He can no longer finesse you, man. And one of the main reasons why the Lord set up the prophets to provide perspective, man. You see? And we were set up as a direct contrast. See, the so-called white man, in particular these elites, they don't care about a nigga in a kufi, man. Nigga in a dashiki. They don't care about that. You pop up like that, they got you. They know they got you. They gonna put you on TV. Well, they losing sleep at night because of the prophets of Yahweh Shah. The house of David, those ruins being raised up. And it's a beautiful story, man. When you look back in retrospect at our people, the shortcomings, the unfortunate turn of events, being hung, castrated, beat down. But then the Lord suddenly came to our aid through the prophets, man.
It says, the step of his strength shall be straightened.
Yeah, go ahead.
And his own counsel shall cast him down.
And his own counsel shall cast him down. So this man is he's being met with a heavy form of resistance. See, the average person thinks wearing a mask or getting jabbed is just another phase in the Babylonian experience. No, that's the so-called white man in a desperate plea to really bring you back into captivity, man. But it's more under the guise of finessing you. Well, long you can go to work. And you hear somebody say that, I got a good job. That's a sick mentality, man. I got a good job. That don't make sense to me. We trying to rule over here, man. And it do look foreign. Because the average person will laugh at the scorn. But guess what? According to the decree, the promise, we are going to rule. As far and far out as it might sound, man. Like that nigga, that frat nigga, man. The old man. May the Lord kill that nigga tonight. Yeah, go ahead,
I got some real quick. Just going back. Like you said, the devil trying to bring us to captivity. This but it's by the information or the lack thereof.
Yeah.
This 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, but we are not ignorant of his devices.
Oh, the key word there is ignorant. Proving that your mental capacity, if you will, if you don't have the mental capacity to embrace form of teaching, then you're going to be taken by the snares, the advances of the so-called white man, the cunning hunter. But all of a sudden, you feel that you at McDonald's. I mean, you've been taken, man. Hey, go ahead. And that's just the least of your worries. Once this man sent forth his military, right? Because Esau is going to have to eventually be himself. According to the script, he's going to have to play the role that was meant for him to play. His role in the movie is the villain, man. And I dare you to question that idea. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say, hey, type in 12 years a slave. Well, type in World War I and World War II. And you're going to see what this was. White on white crime on a global scale. So that shit, you shouldn't marvel at that statement. All right, come on. That was it? All right, come on.
I got it. It's Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 57.
Yep.
And I will make drunk her princes and her wise men, her captains and her rulers.
Right. Hey, imagine someone drunk. Oh, the scripture speaks about staggering in their own money. Imagine someone drunk and you see him trying to walk. Oh, that's the steps of this scripture. The Lord has sent forth a poster. You know, like the Lord put a spell on Esau. The Lord, oh, that's in Isaiah. Is it 19? As a matter of fact, get that. Yeah, the Lord mingled a perverse spirit in Egypt. So imagine that. A person that's drunk and he's trying to walk and he's actually trying to get to a destination. You're going to say, well, hold up, this dude is true, man. That's the conclusion we came to. See, he don't have the power he used to have. That man had you around his finger. When you go back to like flu shots and all that, people was lining up. They didn't question that, man. But now you have the people saying, hold up, man, something ain't gonna make sense here. You selling me cigarettes and that cancer can kill me, but you want me to take this thing. You ain't telling the people not to smoke. And even the Surgeon General telling the kids, you know, well, you're not telling the people not to eat pork. You made that a delicacy, man. Or crab, lobster. Yep, go ahead.
Son, this is Isaiah 19 and 14. The Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof.
Right. So the Lord mingled a perverse spirit. That word spirit goes into twisted, pretty much. And oh, that's a word somebody say he twisted. Somebody drunk. That guy twisted. Go ahead.
And they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof.
And the Lord have caused Egypt, which that's talking about America, okay? The Lord caused Egypt to err in every work thereof. And it's heavy too. This actually is physical. This is really geographically, it's set up like Egypt, how Egypt was back then. That's why, like, when you go on the Mississippi, what the river that is, the Mississippi River, you actually have a pyramid in Memphis. Now, Memphis was the capital, was that the capital, if I'm not mistaken, in Egypt? The capital is Memphis. So you think that's a coincidence? Here in America, you actually have a river, like then it was the Nile, now it's the Mississippi. And on that river, you have a pyramid in the place called Memphis. Lord cold, man. Go ahead.
It says, Slaki, the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and have caused Egypt to err in every work.
So this devil trying to advance his you know, he's trying to advance his plans, right? He's erring in that. In every work, you know, everything this man is doing is failing. That's why eventually Revelation 12 and 12 gonna be activated, man. The scriptures say this man is gonna eventually come down with great wrath, knowing that he have but a short time. He's gonna get to the point where this man gonna stop. I ain't playing it off with you niggas no more. Get your ass. Yeah, enough with the talking, man. Yep, go ahead.
It says, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit.
Right, and again, you see a drunken man staggering in his vomit. You know, imagine it. That's why the scripture give it to you like that, so you can picture it. A person drunk to the point where they've been throwing up, and they're in their own vomit. Imagine him trying to regather himself. Imagine him trying to win. It's not going to work. It's a fight, and he the one drunk in his vomit. He's not going to win. He's not going to overcome. Go ahead.
It says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do.
Right, hey, and that's happening too. You know, eventually people not going to have, you know, work from the top of the totem pole to the bottom of the food chain. Like more than that? All right.
Back at Jeremiah to the 51, verse 57. Now I'm made drunk of princes and on wise men.
Right. So the wise men, the prognosticators, the forecasters of the so-called white man is now being drunk. They don't have a clue what's going on. Man. Go ahead.
Her captains and her rulers and her mighty men, and they shall sleep a perpetual sleep.
Yeah, all of you people. The captain's going to see you citizens because you're really slaves here. You know? Go ahead.
And not wake.
Yep, and not wait.
Saith the king, whose name is the Lord of hosts, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua.
And when they say saith the king, that's a decree. Okay? The Lord has spoken. Okay? And there's no jurisdiction here on the planet Earth that can offset the commands, the orders of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. The Lord spoke that America, Babylon the Great, is to be taken. Her idols are now being confounded. Meredith is broken. That's the report we've given to Israel. And you should be in the spirit of rejoicing, knowing that your oppressor, you know, your arch enemy and nemesis is now being visited by a power that exceeds any other power on the planet Earth. And that's who's going to step in on our behalf. That's who's going to make inquisition for us. Because a lot of our people, they want to see something tangible. Where your school at? You know, you got a brochure. You got a pamphlet. Yeah, block. No, we're just conveying the words of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. And guess what? This has always been the case. Whenever the Lord was prepared to spring into action or visit the planet Earth, he sent the prophets. And guess what? The prophets, you didn't know they was prophets. That's so heavy. Like we go into about Noah. You think they knew Noah was Noah? They just knew Noah to be Noah that they knew. Because if they knew the Noah as we know him, they would have listened. So they just thought Noah was just a dude, man. And I'm telling you, Noah was cussing people out. All right? Noah was a harsh. Yeah, Noah was cussing people out. But real quick,
It's Ezekiel 33.
That's it.
It says, and when this cometh to pass.
See, prophet, that proved that there would be certain men here on the planet Earth that will present unto you a scenario. That's what we present to you. We presented you a scenario, and the scenario is really from left field. It has no place in your plan. Your dreams and aspirations, this has nothing to do with that. That's why it's offensive. You don't want to know what's going on up here, man. Tell you. Go ahead.
It says,
We're discussing the fate of America up here. All right? If you really want to know what's going on, go ahead.
Ezekiel 33.
And it's not a good. You wouldn't be optimistic about this place once you leave it. Go ahead.
Ezekiel 33 and 33. And when this cometh to pass,
Yep.
lo, it will come.
Yeah, and it will come. The famine will come. Okay? And the famine is a great equalizer. Beautiful piece of work. Yeah, please. The famine is a great equalizer, baby. Hey, because you have a nigga to design a belt, you know, in a foreign car. But once the Lord visits him with the famine, what can he do? He can't snap at that moment. You can't play it off when your stomach touches. Yeah, your stomach gonna tell on you. Because your stomach, you growl. Your stomach gonna cry out. That's it. And their stomach just cry out.
It says,
Yeah, I love it.
Ezekiel 33 and 33. And when this cometh to pass,
See, when the prophecies finally come to pass, was there coming to pass? Prophecy history is unfolding right before your very eyes. How we know? Because Biden just threatened you. That's prophecy. That's the dragon beginning. That's the dragon beginning to speak. All right, go ahead.
It says, "Lo, it will come."
And he's one of the many mouthpieces, should I say, of the dragon. The parts, the working parts of that beast. Go ahead. Yeah. Yep, that body.
It says, "Then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them."
So it's going to be a point of time where you're going to know that there was prophets among you. What's going to solidify that? Because what we told you is going to come to pass. That's what makes you a prophet. Not you having a staff. They try to play on they try to play on your psyche. You pop up with a staff. And you think now we retrieve into a cave at the camp. You breaking flatbread, blessing the bread, passing it around, drinking y'all. All you want to do is drink and read the Bible. You play around flatbread and read precepts. No, that don't, no. Yahweh Shah, when you read St. John the 17th chapter, the prophet's going to suddenly come upon you, man. They're going to look like you. They're going to move like you. That's a war strategy. And it tests the sincerity of men. It evaluates the hearts of men. Because surely if we popped up with a thick, all you need is what kind of bouncing thing. Let's show you how low level. You have a moonwalk and a radio station, a grill, and some pamphlets and a couple of Bibles. You don't believe us, man. But here we are in the pureness, of Yahweh Shah. And you overlook that. That's the snare of the Lord. You think you can finesse, you can't slick a can of oil. The Lord created you. So the Lord knows how to manifest whose heels or not. Hey, let's say like you got a woman, right? Let's say you got everything at your disposal. You got a nice crib. You might send a limo to pick up rose petals. Take her to a nice hotel, 5-star dinner, drink good yayun. Hey, at that point, you got to question if she with you for you now. That's debatable now. She might just be with you just because you're doing it. Right. Versus someone pull up on a bike, he ain't got nothing, he's struggling and busting, he's not perceived to have it, but she with him. Now you know that woman with this man. Well, that's how the Lord extended himself to Israel. He came lowly. Hey, that's how Yahweh Shah came to Israel, man. On that donkey. And only the sincere reached out to him. Well, that's how the Lord breaking it to you now. We introduce you to God. God introduced himself to you in a very lowly and humble form. Right. And only the true believers of Yahweh Shah is going to gravitate. It got to be some outside of the flesh to make you gravitate to a guy on a bike. It's bigger than the flesh at that point. So this is a spiritual gathering, right? And only the elect of the nation of Israel, the prestige number of Yahweh Shah. Those are the only ones that are going to be entertained by this form of teaching. Right. It's a very foreign idea that's not going to register with the modern mind. You waiting on this little nigga used to rap. Kirk Franklin. Yeah, Kirk Franklin. That motherfucker. You waiting on a guy like that to calm you down. But no, the Lord sent forth the prophets of old to be exact. Matter of fact, let's prove that. Give me a second, Ezra. Oh, Yahweh Shah said that too. Yahweh Shah said, therefore I will send forth scribes and prophets, meaning the very men that wrote the Bible. They're going to come back, man. Go ahead.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra 1, and I start at verse 38. And now, brother, behold, what glory, and see the people that come from the east.
Woo. So the Lord, matter of fact, give me Isaiah 30 and 20 real quick. The Lord said, behold and see the people that come from the east. That's reincarnation, man. Meaning the men that you see here today, they from the past. All right? The prophet Jeremiah, Isaiah, you know, Ezekiel, all these different men, they back today, they just don't know who they are. And that's in Ecclesiastes. There's no remembrance of former things.
This Isaiah
so that's
chapter.
why John the Baptist, they said, they asked John that. That let you know that's the truth. They asked John, they say, are you Elijah? John said no, but he was Elijah.
Yeah.
But he didn't know he was Elijah. Go ahead.
This Isaiah 30 and 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity, and the water of affliction.
Right, and that's another thing that proves that to truly serve the Lord, you're going to be met with resistance. You're going to catch hell. That's why you should be skeptical. Skeptical of Creflo Dollar, man. They got a private jet. Come on, man. Scripture say we're going to eat the bread of adversity. We're going to drink of the water of affliction. You know what I mean? Go ahead. I just want to get paper. That's how you brag. I just want to get paper.
Yet shall not thy teachers.
That's raw as you can get. Yeah. Them boys getting paper. Go ahead.
It says, yet shall not thy teachers be removed.
Boy, them guys in Israel like that too. All right, Elazar, you niggas. Go ahead.
Yet shall not thy teacher be removed into a corner anymore.
So the Lord said there would be a time when we would not be in a corner. He's going to thrust us into the public's eye. It was prophesied that the true breakdown of the Bible would be published, man. And the Lord won't shy away from it. It's not like you got to find us in a building and we got Bible study. No, we breaking it down now, man. Go ahead.
But thine eyes,
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
but thine eyes shall see thy teacher.
See that? Your eyes shall see your teachers, man. And that proves right there you have to be taught the Bible. You can't just conjure up your own perspective of the Bible. Because usually it's driven by emotions. You hear old gospel, you hear some old gospel Negro spiritual man, you start thinking about your grandma. Now you done took the Bible, you done read the Bible out of its proper context. Right. This is a wise counsel which requires logic. Okay? Yeah. That's what the Lord dealing with. That's why when you read Wisdom of Solomon in the 7th chapter, the Lord say he only loved those who dwelleth with wisdom. Also, when you read 1 Kings, dealing with King Solomon's petition pleased the Lord. And what was his petition? Give me wisdom.
Right.
So, what we found out, the Bible is not as of an emotional roller coaster ride as you think. The Bible and tears all over. Organs playing. That don't apply to the Bible. This is a wise counsel that's preparing the elect of the nation of Israel to triumph, to overcome their enemies, man. As we read the stories of King David and his travails and his adversity, his faith, we come in that same state. Go ahead.
Verse 21, and thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way.
Right, so we are pointing you into the right direction. This is the way. Go ahead.
Walk ye in it.
Walk ye in it. You are to subscribe to what Yahweh Shemel Shai is laying out. Go ahead.
And when you turn to the right hand,
yep,
and when you turn to the left.
Right, so your decision making is going to be based upon what's written in this book. This is what's going to give you your perspective. You know, as you walk your walk. You know, you come in a certain situation, then wisdom preserves you. Like you pull up at the gas station and some nigga mugging you. You go to another gas station. But you have our people, they can go for that thing. Now he on Fox 6. He wanted on Fox 6. So that's why this counsel, matter of fact, that's food. Give me Proverbs the 2nd chapter. This is beautiful. It's beautiful right here, man. Because it goes into the inner workings of wisdom. You know, and the properties of it, the benefits of it. It breathes life. Go ahead. Hey, your pastor preacher, he just gave you a song and dance. He had that handkerchief. He added to the dramatics. He know it, the brother know it. He had that handkerchief close. And I'm going to tell you how he played. He had a Bible here. He had the podium with the Bible sitting on it, but he don't read nothing out of it. That's playing on your psyche, man. He's showing you the Bible so you can say he's under the banner of the Bible, but he's giving you a bunch of song and dance. All right, give me what you got real quick.
Wisdom of Solomon 10 and 9. But wisdom delivered from pain those that are tended upon her. But wisdom delivered from pain.
Right. Also, according to the prophecy, the Lord said the masses of the people. Which, by the way, you know that word masses translates to death. But the masses of the people are going to die death by pain. Ooh, but the scriptures say that wisdom is going to deliver us from that. Read it again.
But wisdom.
And I'm going to say something too. Pain comes in the form of famine too. You ever heard of hunger pains? Yeah. So we're going to be delivered from those hunger pains too. Go ahead.
It says, but wisdom delivered from pain those that are tended upon her.
Right, you have to attend upon wisdom. You have to be attentive. This truth have to pique your interest. And because the Lord is a great king. The Lord is not compromised. We're not out here saying, please come listen to us. No, man. The king sent out a decree, and for those who are obedient, they're going to hearken and yield to the instruction. Right. But for those who resist the spirit of Yahweh outside, you're going to die. And don't get mad at me. We could go into the records. What about the time of Noah? We got records here, man. The Lord visited the people in Sodom and Gomorrah, which this place mirrors. You know they actually got genders, what they call genderless. And I see them all the time. Like you can't really make out what it is. You're like a 13-year-old boy from this angle. So if you take a step back, and go, you can make one.
No, I was talking about the little rapper dude, right? Great.
Oh, well, I think that was it. I think it was a computer image.
But you still pushing that.
You still pushing that. Yeah, that's right, yeah. And they got him, he's the poster child for it. But he's a product of SpongeBob and see, all of these things, nothing more than the advances of Esau to keep you in further derision, man. See, we found the exit out of here. But the entry point to peace is your mind. And this is how the Lord counseled out our people. See, the Lord, again, the Lord is man, it's fascinating how the Lord get down, man. Because he snares you. See, our people think they can give the Lord the song and dance and he's going to be sufficing. He's going to quiet the grumbling. No, you know how the Lord got you? He put it in the book. That's a saying. You want to keep something from a nigga. And we're going to say, look at we said nigga. It said you want to keep something from a nigga, but it said put it in a book. That's a true saying indeed. Because they don't have the attention span. Chicken fingers calling in the background. Well, I'm going to say this. If I was to put a stash of money in a book, real talk, if you had some money you wanted to hide, put it in a book. And you can sit right on the block. You can sit right on the block and you can sleep easy. Because they're not going to look in that book. They're not going to look in that book. I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, you come back, yeah. Well, that's the spirit of Yahweh sitting outside as it relates to true wisdom. All right? A doctrine that's presented that leads to immortality, man. And that's foreign right there. Again, these teachings are not of this realm. Neither was Yahweh when he hit the ground running with the ministry. He was teaching the kingdom of heaven and everlasting life, man. That's why you had them two goons, Amadeus, they said resurrection and all of that. Yeah. You got some more minutes?
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 2, verse 10. Mm-hmm. When wisdom enter into thy heart.
Right, and that wisdom is not conventional wisdom. You learn how to change the flat. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but well, you develop a doomsday prepper type of approach. That's not the wisdom the scripture talks about. Let's talk about the proper knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Holy Bible. That's dealing with the counsel of Yahweh Shai, man. What?
When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul.
Yeah, this should be pleasant to you. It shouldn't be a burden. It should be pleasant to know that Yahweh Shema Shai once was showing favor to a people that was beat down, robbed, spoiled, raped, ravaged, murdered. So it should be pleasant. Go ahead.
Discretion shall preserve
See
thee.
that? Discretion shall preserve thee. So now, through the Spirit of God, Yahweh Shema Shai, we have discernment. You know? And that's Esau don't like that. Esau wanted you to be wild bulls, kill off each other, you know, continue to contribute to the narrative of you being, you know, the worst violent people on the planet Earth. Now we're in a time where the Lord is restoring order again to Israel. And it's starting right here. Go ahead.
He said, discretion shall preserve thee.
Right, so wisdom is going to preserve us.
Understanding shall keep thee.
See, understanding shall keep you from what? The sad perils, man. The famine, the wild beasts being unleashed to wreak havoc on the inhabitants of the planet Earth. The advances of Esau and his military through martial law. Oh, that thing. That thing. You get an email, they tell you can't get to come to work without that thing. Yeah. Y'all come on. Yeah. Yep. Continue on that.
It says, to deliver thee.
To what?
To deliver thee from the way of the evil man.
See, the scriptures say that the Lord is going to deliver us from the way of the evil man. That cancels out that fictional tale of a guy in the underworld with horns. Do we got okay, don't worry about it. Right here. That's the devil that you should look out for. Shouts right bon shit. See? Yeah.
Not my G.
That's right there. I'll tell you, like the guy, the one guy with the handpiece. Yeah. What's that? The Bible tells us, you know what I mean? But the scriptures speaking about a certain entity, a power, okay? Those who govern over the planet Earth. That's the resistor of the Bible, man. That's the devil that the Bible speaks of. The ones who write laws in an attempt to transcend the commandments of the Lord. Why do you think there's protection for the LGBTQ? That's a direct offense against the God of the Bible, man. Right. So who the devil? See, read that again.
It says to deliver thee from the way of the evil man.
From the way of the evil man. And Biden right now is the poster child. That's why he told you he getting tired of you. He said, look, man, I'm running out of patience. So the Lord said what? He's going to deliver us from the way of the evil man. Okay? Yeah, that's famous. In his wicked imagination. Go ahead.
It says from the man that speaketh for things.
And that goes into his legislations and laws. Again, which is nothing more than thumbing his nose up at the laws of the Bible. Man. And pretty much waging war against Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Right?
In Psalm 64 and verse 1, hear my voice, O Most High.
Yeah.
In my prayer, preserve my life.
Who we reading from?
Psalm 64.
Now, you'll read this at face value, you'll think that's the Old Testament. That's just Psalms. No, this is prophecy, man.
Yeah.
But you're going to find out this book in its entirety captures the very essence of prophecy. And it all, you can receive it. The prophecies is concerned in the time we're in now. You think the Lord forgot about America? The most wickedest kingdom ever. Not there to a patriotic American to catch that, man. Yeah.
In Psalm 64 and 1, hear my voice, O my prayer preserve my life from fear of the enemy.
See, from fear of the enemy. Who is that enemy right there? You got to ask that question. Who is the enemy? Well, we ain't got to break that down. Again, type up 12 years a slave. Now, you will see what that can prove to be a challenge to most people. Why? Because they haven't incorporated the ingredient of reincarnation. That's another mystery. Reincarnation is a real thing. That's why you have something which have fascinated and baffled the minds of scientists, and it's called deja vu. Because you've been here before.
That's it.
And the Lord, in an act of justice, visited us. Hey, when you go into when we was harmed, right, and beat, that was the Lord visiting us for what we did in the past life. And you got to remember when Yahweh Shai was going up on, when they was going to crucify Yahweh Shai, what they told Yahweh Shai. They didn't even know who they was talking to. They didn't even know that was the same God in Exodus. With the Exodus 23. They didn't know that was him, man. Hey, the Lord warned you about Yahweh Shai. The Lord said, don't play with Yahweh Shai. Yeah, the Lord said, beware of Yahweh Shai. But nevertheless, when they were finna take Yahweh Shai on the cross, what our people said? Put his blood on our hands and our children's hands. That's why later on the Lord put your hands in slavery. Right. And had you hang from trees. Right. See? Why? Because you came up against the king. That's a real king that can sit up and scenario. That's something. Yeah. They didn't even know that was the king. That was good to say that. Watch what you say about the king in your bedchamber. He's a little bird to come tell on one.
Psalm 64:2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
Right, and the counsel of the so-called white man is secret. You know how we know that? Give me this sign real quick. We got to make sure this every 30 minutes, like every 30 minutes. These niggas up. They want it, man. Well, the reason why I'm bringing them up, because did you know they the ones who rule the world? Well, why they ain't tell you that? Yeah. Yeah, see? Read that again.
Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
Yeah, the secret counsel of the wicked. And this gives more credence to the idea of the so-called white man being the cunning hunter. If you read about it in Genesis 25th chapter. Because a hunter moves under the shroud of secrecy. And you know the hunters don't come out and open fire. You know, stuff up in the woods. They got open fire and tearing trees down. No, they sit up in a tree stand. They even have deer calls. They have mating calls. And through the camouflage and through the lust of the animal. And Esau get off on that. So-called white man get off on your lust. He bring you in and kill you. Oh, yeah. They had the best there. Yeah. The mating. And they know what season to strike. But it's all based upon secrecy.
It says, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot arrows, even bitter words.
Oh, even bitter words. So the so-called white man justifies his actions through his decrees, man. That's why you got legislations on the books that's giving him the green light to come knock at your door and ask if you've had that thing. Oh, which, by the way, they got robots now that come and see if you detect. See, the Lord about to shift this thing into a scene in this drama that you people not going to be able to wrap your mind around. You don't know who you did it, man. Look, man, the Lord is greatly to be feared, man. We right at the beginning, at the cuffs of the Lord showing himself. And now when you go into ancient Egypt, what happened? The Lord got down, man. He ain't shy away from contact. He turned the water to blood. He sent frogs at the scourge. He killed all the firstborn of the Egyptians, man. Well, when you read Jeremiah, the 14th chapter, the Lord said He's going to open in this society. He's going to far out exceed what He did in ancient Egypt. There's going to be a power outage, and then the prophets don't know who the prophets is. See, yeah, you think this thing gonna fizzle out? No, it's just gonna we just getting started. Right. You know, the Lord has awakened. The Lord has sprung into action, man. Come on.
It says, who wet their tongue like a sword.
Right. Oh, and that proves that his tongue is his decrees. Why is the word sword in the same breath with his tongue? Because this is how he's gonna come up. Look, the so-called white man is ready to wage war against Israel. That's where I can put it, man. He's gonna fulfill that lust. Esau get off on the blood of you so-called Negroes. You could, bro. You could have come to me. Yeah.
I got something real.
All right, come on, huh?
This is on the book of Psalm 59 itself. Mm-hmm. Behold, they built out with their mouth.
Yep.
Swords are in their lips.
See, swords are in their lips. This is a dark saying, a metaphor, parable for the so-called white man's decrees and how they will eventually spill over into war. That's why you have martial law. Which again, when you break down that term, martial law, it translates to warlike law. And this is the only way the so-called white man can reason. When he came over here to the native, he didn't diplomatically deal with the native, man. He slaughtered them. So when the so-called white man feels threatened, or he feels compromised, he feels uncomfortable, he pull out the sword. That's a sign of a criminal. But
it says, and bend their bows to shoot their arrow. Woo! Even bitter words.
Even bitter words. What?
That they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
Yeah, they're going to shoot in secret at the perfect. Who the perfect? You're looking at the perfect. Now, perfect has levels to it. That don't mean we perfect. We have shortcomings too. We're in the flesh. There's levels to perfect. One level of perfection is finishing. All right, let's say like if you paint a portrait, it could be a potential masterpiece. But if you don't finish it, it's not perfect. But in this case, that perfect is talking about those who have a perfect understanding of the scripture. Read that again.
God, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
Yeah, so they're going to shoot in secret at us. All right? So-called white man is not going to come out and say, look, I'm the devil, and I have a diabolical plan. My agenda is to overthrow you and to further and advance my kingdom. And by the way, I'm going to bring you back into captivity. And whoever I deem as a useless eater, I'm going to put them to death. Yeah. In fulfilling my depopulation plan. He's not going to tell you that. That's why the scripture says in secret. And again, that goes back to a cunning hunter. That's the characteristics of a hunter.
Finish it up on this Psalm 59. Just going back to what I said, this Psalm 59 is 7 again. Behold, they belch out with their lips. They belch out with their mouth. Swords are in their lips.
Go ahead.
For who say they dove here?
See, for who do they say dove here? Yeah. But they don't know that there's a power out there that can hear. Well, and I'm going to say something in the spirit. We actually disclosed in their plan. Elisha did that, which we come in the stead of the prophet to tell you how Elisha told the things that were said in the king's bedchamber. Right? So that's what we're doing in essence. We're disclosing the diabolical, far out, crazed devil, Esau, the Edomite himself, so-called white man. We're disclosing his plan. What he's concocting in his bedchambers, man. And that in itself is a chink in his arm. You got to remember, you see that word secret surrounded, that's attached and aligned and associated with the so-called white man. Why? Because that's an actual power that he possessed. The moment that he was found out, he lost that power. Yeah. That's him, man. The moment you found out who that was, he lost his power.
That's it.
Yeah, Jeremiah. It was the time when that boy dominated the room, you know what I mean? That's so with that cookie long. Black man.
Jeremiah 50:43, it says, the king of Babylon have heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble.
Woo! Read that again.
The king of Babylon had heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble.
Hey, because Esau, man, this man is in desperation mode, man. He's become feeble. His knees is weak. He's shaking. He's trembling. Why? Because he heard the decree from Yahweh Shemel Shah. The Lord sent the notice. Oh, what's that? Yahweh Shah said that in the parable in Luke 14. What king going to war with another? Yeah, consider send conditions of peace. Well, how he knew he was coming? Because that king let him know, look, man, at least you heed to my request, I'm going to overthrow you and your kingdom. Well, that's what the God of the Bible has did, man. The Lord has declared war on the so-called white man in Babylon the Great. Go ahead. Yeah, come on.
That word feeble, it says lacking physical strength, especially as a result of the word feeble. Simple Google definition: lacking physical strength, especially as a result of age or illness.
That's Isaiah the 10th chapter. What's it, 24? Matter of fact, get that. Yeah, because this man has grown feeble. One of the words there is droop. All right, that's when you got like erect, like someone erect means to stand up. Hey, that's up. That's why the Lord said we stood on our feet. We are being erected. While Esau in the spirit, he have a low sperm count. You know, man, the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shah, beautiful, man. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, and I start at verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away.
Right, and that's the current state of the earth. It's mourning indeed, and it is fading away. You go to certain places like Brazil, that was like, they call it the heart of the earth. Esau cut down all the trees, man. You have what's known as deforestation. These furniture stores, right? The earth mourning, the animals. You hear these birds chirping, you think they chirp, they crying. They crying, man. Oh, like you see these power lines? The birds have to resort to power lines, man. You see squirrels. Squirrels have learned how to walk on the power line. They know that they can't hit a certain spot. That's the earth mourning, man. That's why the Lord really got to kill everything in the earth. Simply elect. Go ahead.
It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The hardy people of the earth do languish.
Yep, hardy being proud. And if you've been doing your homework, you know that translates to the so-called white man. But that word language there, what? It goes into droop. It's drooping. All right, come on.
Back in Psalm,
Okay, come.
Psalm 64 and 5, it says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately.
Read that again.
They encourage themselves in an evil matter.
Yeah, this is how they, helping themselves up. They feel as if they're going to triumph through evil. Go ahead.
It says, they they commune of laying snares privately.
See, that's the hunter. They communing, they're meeting and gathering to lay snares and traps and pitfalls for you. You think the whole pandemic, and I remember Spirit had to remember when it started. It started over there with the groups. Yeah. It was a part, in the footage they had, you think groups were just falling out. Yeah, real tight shit on camera. There was one group, he just fell back, and then the ambulance came to get him, and he fell out. God. So that they communed of that. Esau came up with that. You know they control the media. The media plays on this cycle. So they pushed that shit out there and started working on it. There was communal of laying that snap. Well,
they say, who shall see them?
Yeah, who shall see them? And that's the ways of a criminal. You know, go ahead.
They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded.
Right, so the Lord is going to destroy them. And that arrow in which the Lord is going to shoot is going to be in the form of them. That's how the Lord is going to make things right. Right, that's how the Lord is going to eventually get rid of Esau.
It's Joel chapter 18, verse 9.
Yeah.
The gent shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way.
Yep. And you notice too, like those ICBM missiles, the silos is in the ground. That's that snare that's laid in the ground.
Verse 11, terror shall make him afraid on every side.
Right, so the so-called white man, starting with the elites, are afraid. You know, they're moving, they're driven by fear. This is desperation. You know, the spirit always going to that, how the New World Order is not like adding an addition to your house. Like, the New World Order is like, I'm gonna add them so I can kick it. No, the New World Order is out of desperation, man. That's an act of, that's trying to survive, that's for survival. And why is it so? Because they heard the report that it's decreed that they're going to be taken down. They're going to be overthrown. And the Lord is going to set up this regime that you see before you. Okay? Which is the kingdom of heaven. That's the true phrase. The kingdom of heaven is not a place where your grandma is. The kingdom of heaven is dealing with the next system that's going to be ushered in at the fall of the beast. That's right. All right, so with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory. Double honor to our teachers, the head apostles, the elders, the great millstone. Shalom to the brothers laboring in his work. And as always, you believers, the Hakim, the Aqua, those of you out there who subscribe to as well. Until next time, shalom.
Shalom. ETA about soon.
You niggas, man. Check your bank account, you niggas.